Hey, what's up guys and gals? My name is Rick9G. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be looking at the show The Munsters. I want to welcome all the new subscribers who have decided to subscribe to the channel. If you're watching the channel and have not yet hit that subscribe button, let me tell you, that is the #1 way to support me and the growth that I make on this channel. It is all due to you. This channel is fan run, and without your help I cannot make these videos, so thank you, and thanks for the thumbs up and the subscribe. Today we're going to be focusing on, of course, Fred Gwynne, who played Herman Munster on the show The Munsters, and we're going to take a look at the process and a little bit of the behind the scenes information on all the painstaking work that he went through to transform from Fred Gwynne to Herman Munster. It might be more than you may think, so let's dive into this story. All this information comes from the child actor Ted Eccles. He recalled that it was an enormous amount of time involved in the makeup process itself. As a little kid, they were pretty strict in those days, and kids could only work for 4 hours on the set. That was due in part to child labor laws. Now, if Fred's makeup would come off during a scene, they'd have to stop production, and they'd have to pull a kid out of school and make sure that the makeup was correct, which would be a loss of 30 minutes. It was a challenge because at the time Butch spent in the makeup chair, that counted towards his working time. Now, Eccles also recalled that the inordinate efforts on the set to keep Fred Gwynne cool under his heavy makeup was a huge task. This included his headpiece as well and his padded wardrobe. So what they did in between the takes, it was really difficult because if you rehearsed the scene with Fred, you then had to wait about 5 minutes from rehearsal until they actually did a take. They would have to get prepared for the scene. Fred could only do about 2 to 3 takes before he had to be cooled down. They would be indoors, and you can imagine how difficult it would be to cool him off, but imagine outside under the hot Southern California sun, how even more difficult that would be. Now, the process of keeping him cool and comfortable wasn't an easy one. The show was being shot with relatively slow speed film, and an overdose of light was required to be pumped into the stage to properly capture the scenes. So they had huge carbon arc lamps. They threw off huge amounts of heat, and they caused Fred Gwynne to sweat profusely. Now combine this with the heavy padding he wore, and it created a lot of limits. It got to be where Fred knew just when to stop for breaks, and many times he had to call these shots, not the director, out of just plain survival. It was a smart director, a flexible director who understood this, and it helped to get the job done on time rather than delay production. Being shot at Universal Studios Hollywood on a stage, there was a huge air conditioning that was used, and so that really helped, but they still required a concentrated amount of cooling to assist Gwynne. So to combat the heat, set workers designed and constructed a rig made out of 2x4s, and he was allowed to lean on this. Fred could take breathers on this. It was a slanted board which he could step on. He would lean back and prop his arms up. There were 3 to 4 openings built into the inner suit and padding, and while Gwynne leaned back to take the weight off his feet, the set workers would plug air hoses into his padded wardrobe and blast him full of air. This would happen frequently during the filming days. Now, what was the danger of not keeping Fred cool? Well, if they didn't, this messed up his headpiece and the makeup. It would come loose. If the headpiece came off, then that was another hour in makeup. It was hysterical and really funny to watch as a little kid, recalls Eccles, because normally you'd go in and run your lines, you block the scene, you shoot the master, and then do the close-ups, and you're done. But when you worked in this situation comedy, it was a whole lot more involved, and things moved a lot slower. He doesn't even know how it was done, but thank goodness it was done, and done brilliantly. Between trying to keep Fred Gwynne cool and the cobwebs on the set, it was just chaos, but they were able to do it. If you are interested on the cobwebs, there's a full story on that. I made another video, so go ahead and check that out. Well, that's it for this video, guys and gals. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Like I said, a thumbs up would be appreciated, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. I hope you're staying positive. I hope you're bettering yourself each and every day, even if it's slowly and little by little. And most importantly, don't forget, be hopeful.